Hello, I'm John Casebolt with Equipment Technologies. Today I'm going to show you how to winterize the application system of your Apache sprayer. If you buy your RV antifreeze in either gallon jugs or 5-gallon buckets, you're going to need to carry it to the top of the machine. The 30 or 40 gallons that you're going to put in the product tank, you'll dump in through the lid in the top of the tank. The 10 gallons or so that you'll put in the rinse tank, you'll dump through the lid in the top of the rinse tank. And then the 2 or 3 gallons that you'll need to use to do the chemical eductor can actually go in the top of the chemical eductor tank. If you have your RV antifreeze in a bulk tank, we can remove the protector cap, we can hook our hose up to the product tank fill valve, open our fill valve, and then we can put RV antifreeze in the product tank just as we would if we were filling it with water and getting ready to go spray. After we've got our 30 to 40 gallon of RV antifreeze in the product tank, then we can close the valve, remove our hose, put our protective cap back on, then we can move over to our rinse tank and we can do the same thing. We can remove the rinse tank cap and then we can install the hose. We can open up our rinse fill valve and fill our rinse tank with 10 to 12 gallons of RV antifreeze, just as we would if we were filling it with rinse water and getting ready to go spray. After we're done putting RV antifreeze in it, we can close the valve, remove the hose, reinstall the cap, and now we have RV antifreeze in the rinse tank, in the product tank, and if we have the chemical eductor, we can dump 2 or 3 gallons in the top of the chemical eductor, and we'll have it ready to winterize also. Now that we have our product pump turned on, into my pump PWM, and I want to set it up to 100. That way I've got my product pump producing all the flow that it can possibly produce in order to get flow going back through the product system, through the ball valves and out the nozzle control valves. I'm going to leave my nozzle PWM set at 100%. I want to make sure my controller is still in manual mode. So the first circuit that we're going to start with is our agitation circuit. So what I'll need to do, since we'll have the product pump running on the machine when we're actually winterizing the machine, I'm going to have to go back underneath the machine and turn on that main sump valve so that we don't have our product pump running dry. After turning on the main sump valve, then I'm going to come out and I'm going to turn my agitation roto flush valve over to agitation. I'm going to leave this on product to pump, and then I'm going to turn my product pump on here so that my product pump will begin running and it's ready to start moving product through. And then I'm going to use my switch here to open up my agitation valve, my electric valve, so that I can begin to get that RV antifreeze flowing through that valve and then going through the tank, through the agitation tubing. And I'm going to allow it to circulate for perhaps 2 to 3 minutes. That should give it enough time to be able to get any water that was remaining in there purged out, get it flushed into the tank, and have that agitation plumbing circuit completely full of RV antifreeze. Then at that point I can go ahead and I can close my valve, I can turn my product pump off, and I'm ready to move on to winterizing the rinse circuit. Now we're ready to begin winterizing the rinse circuit or the roto flush circuit. So what we're going to do is take our agitation roto flush valve and we're going to turn it so that our arrow is pointing toward the roto flush labeling on the side panel. And then we're going to take our product to pump valve and we're going to move it down to rinse to pump so that we can pull that RV antifreeze out of our rinse tank that we've put in there. We're going to turn our product pump back on, and now we're ready to have that RV antifreeze going through that roto flush system. So it's going to travel from the pump up through our rinse plumbing, up through the roto flush nozzles in the top of the tank. It's going to be rinsing down the inside of the tank and filling that entire rinse circuit with RV antifreeze. And again, we're going to allow that to go on for 2 to 3 minutes, just as we did with the agitation circuit. Once we're satisfied that we have got that circuit flushed the way that we want it, I can turn my product pump off, and then we're going to move our valve back up product to pump. We're going to go ahead and move our roto flush valve down to close, and the next circuit that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be the chemical eductor circuit. If your machine is equipped with the optional chemical eductor, we want to make sure that we winterize the chemical eductor system as well. So what we'll do is we'll come back up and we'll turn on our product pump again, and then we're going to go behind the fill station and open up the main eductor supply valve so that our RV antifreeze can come from the product pump down to the eductor. We're going to open up the eductor valve here so that the RV antifreeze can flow through the venturi underneath the eductor, and then the RV antifreeze that we put inside the eductor tank, we're going to go ahead and open that up and allow that to come down through the valve into the eductor plumbing, mixed with the RV antifreeze coming from the tank, and then it's going to fill the line going up to the top of the product tank, and we're again going to allow that to run for a couple of minutes just to make sure that we get that line full. When we're ready to stop winterizing the eductor system, we're going to close the tank valve, we're going to close the lower valve, and then we're going to come back up here and we're going to close our main eductor supply valve. We can turn on our product pump, and then I'm going to turn on my spray master switch. I should see my indicator or my master status light come on my switch box, and now I'm ready to start turning on each boom section, but I'm only going to do them one at a time. I'm going to turn on boom section number 1, and I'm going to watch my boom spray until I'm satisfied that I've got a nice even flow of pink RV antifreeze coming out of each nozzle control valve. Once I've done that, then I can turn off number 1 and I can go on to number 2. I'm going to watch number 2 section. When I see my nice even flow of RV antifreeze coming out that number 2 section, I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to go to number 3, and then I'm just going to keep moving through until I get all 9 sections done. Now your machine may only have 5 sections, it may only have 7 sections, it could have 8 sections, 10 sections. It's going to depend on the model year of the machine, the type of controller you have, as to what your ball valve or your boom valve configuration is. But once we have completely turned on each section, we've got a nice, pure, even flow of RV antifreeze coming out of each section. We can go ahead and turn off our master switch. We can go ahead and turn off our pump. Thanks for watching. For more information, please see your operator's manual or contact your Apache sprayer dealer.